In a world where two friends decided to watch movies from their youth, then decided to start a podcast about it, we present to you the Movie Test of Time. A podcast about the only medium that matters, the movies. Presenting your hosts, America's sweetheart, Beth Martin, and Irish ruffian, Andy Young. Hello, that's us, your destructive and tragic hosts. This week, looking at Leaving Las Vegas. Beth, the pleasure as always. What's the crack?
I don't know. I don't know where to lead in after watching this movie.
Right?
Yes. So, I guess I'll just say that I've started golfing, Andy.
OMG. That was the one.
I know.
That mic's not close to my mouth. Let's fix that. Okay. Oh, sorry. OMG. I'll take that again.
You could have just done a Howard Stern and pulled the mic in and been like, blah, 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 and
for drama.
And then press a button that was like, boo, boo, boo. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I should have done that.
Because that's what bros do, because now I'm a bro. Golf.
Yeah.
I gotta go, Andy. Gotta hit the links with the boys.
So what's going on, Beth? Do you have a golf sweater on currently? Tell me more.
As is what happens, I think, maybe when you have children, and I didn't quite understand this before I made that decision, but you end up, like, absorbing their hobbies.
Yeah.
So, like, Charles has decided he wants to be as well as a drummer, he wants to also be a golfer because he watched Happy Gilmore, which I wonder how much golf, like, in general, as a sport, needs to pay respect to Adam Sandler.
It's a good point, yeah.
Because, like, there's no way the kids would have been golfing if I wasn't like, let's start watching Adam Sandler movies. And, like, every kid I talk to out there, they're like, let's do the Happy Gilmore swing. So, I guess thank you, Adam Sandler, for getting me out on the golf course.
Mm-hmm.
Not even...
Right in the links.
Yeah, hitting the link right there. And Andy's seen the golf course that we have here. So, comparing them to the golf courses that you have, where golf was invented. Was it Scotland or Ireland? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I'm sure people will let me know.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
But it's just like there's ground squirrels running around. Some of the grass is not grass. It's just brown patches of was grass. It's like, it's sad. It's sad. But people are out there. People come. And so it's me and these other people. And of course, first time I bought my own bag because I can't even, it's a very expensive sport.
Yes.
I didn't know. So I was picking up some clubs at the flea market, but I don't know which ones I need to have in a bag. So I ended up buying the bag. It doesn't matter. None of this matters. So show up, go get the ticket, because they have a ball machine, which I didn't know. I hope all you golfers out there are laughing at me right now. So they give you a code, you put the bucket under the ball machine. It's like, getting a vending machine Coke or something, but all these balls drop out of the bottom, and then you play. I broke the ball machine.
Why?
I don't know. It's all these other people are like trying to get the balls, and I'm like, I had to go talk to the guy twice, and then like the crew had to come out, and then they were like, oh, it's out of balls, and I was like, okay, but I was, but it's me and electronic anything. Like there's something gravitationally wrong with me where electronics don't work. Have I told you this theory of me?
No.
Yeah. So like
you've got like some sort of kinetic,
where like
static field or
static
something.
field where, it can be. I can be standing with someone, and then the person will be like, "Oh, the computer stopped working just a moment," and I'm like, "Yep, it's me." Like I hear this literally more. I would say 3/4 of the time, and it can happen when I'm also on the phone with someone who's trying to use their computer, and they'll be like, "That's so weird." And I'm like, it's not, Mercury's not in retrograde. Like, I literally am like, there's something wrong with me. So, I also broke the ball machine, which is an electronic apparatus.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You're like
I think
what the hell are
maybe
they called?
I'm a superhero.
A human.
Andy just like didn't even listen. He's ignoring me.
I know. I was listening to it. I'm trying to think.
I think I'm a superhero. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's like, what do you call the things you can set off that disable electricity?
Oh no, like a jammer.
Yeah, no, there's another word for it. I can't think what it is. Sorry, it'll come to me.
Well, I know it. A jammer, maybe that's what you use for when you're trying to not get the radar gun on you from the cops.
EMP?
Yeah, EMP?
Yes,
the pulse.
It is EMP, yeah.
It's the electromagnetic pulse. That's me. I'm an eel.
And I got it from my own brain. Yes, you are an eel, so that's your superpower. And just your superhero name, the eel.
I get ew. No, I've been watching too much of The Boys, and I'm like, no, that's no.
No, the eel would be awful in The Boys for sure.
Anyways, also one other thing to share. I don't know if you've heard of this thing called AI. It's been making waves in the news lately. Yeah, you're using it. You're using it. You just don't know it. So I was. Stop me if I've already told you this, but I think I've already told you this. I was reading or listening to something with some scholars, and they were talking about, all these students are going to college, and they're trying to figure out what to major in because AI is taking over all these jobs. And they were like, well, based on, all the things that we can think of in our big brains, these are how decisions are made, Andy. They were like, They said majoring in humanities would be the best bet. Do you know what I majored in?
Wow. Humanities?
Fucking humanities. So
hell yeah.
Finally, I don't know what, the 25 years after I got my actual degree.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, what are the humanities and why did you major in that? It's to beat the robots.
I bet they made fun of us when you did your humanities and I did my communication studies degrees. Yes. But who's laughing now?
Exactly.
With your fucking computer science degrees that aren't worth the paper they're written on.
Nope.
Well.
So we are Yoshimi and we are battling the pink robots.
Hell yeah.
With my new electronic pulse superpower. That's what I have going on. What's up with you?
Okay. I mean, that's a lot.
I know.
And a new superpower. Okay, so I have, really hitting the movies hard recently. So I have, I've been to see The Devil Wears Prada.
2 or 1? Okay. Huh?
I watched 1 in preparation for 2, which I have seen before.
Yeah.
And it was good, but I think it was, it's a difficult one these days because, certainly big budget movies are in such a funny place where they're so beholden to so many masters and shit like that. So I don't think anything, I think it wasn't a real, so many Lego sequels are, not all, are pretty poor because they're just trying to ape what came before. I think there's a few exceptions. Poor,
not per, for those that are using American English. Sorry.
Yeah.
Per.
And overall I enjoyed it and I think it was more successful than I had kind of hoped. I was just kind of whatever, I'll go. A friend was going, just do you want to go with? And I'm like, sure. And I had a fun time with it, but didn't reinvent the wheel certainly, but I had some interesting things to say about where we're at currently with a lot of this stuff, which I thought was cool.
Has it changed the way that you're dressing or your fashion sense?
No.
Okay.
Nothing will change that. It did actually make me, I think it was the first movie more than the second, made me less not actively hostile, but I was the fashion industry is bullshit, but it was I kind of understand it now. I kind of understand the value of it now. I maybe think that there's maybe a bit too much money there, but there's a bit too much money in many different fields, so it's whatever.
Exercising?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything to do with how you look. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is so true.
I think it's more of an art form than people give it credit for. I'll say that.
I think so too, for sure. I think there is a real craft to it that I just didn't really appreciate before. So yeah, worth a watch, I thought. I've also seen Backrooms.
I have not heard of this.
Okay, so there's like a bit of a like renaissance going on, I'd say, with both directors and kind of movies. There is like, I mean, there has been for a while now, like this pipeline of like YouTube creators who have been making movies.
Oh, I've
for
heard
years.
of this. I've heard of this. Wait, what is
Right?
it? Backrooms? Sorry.
Backrooms, yeah.
What is it called? Sorry.
Backrooms. And it's the same thing again. So this guy who creates stuff on YouTube, he's been given a bit of a budget, making these films, and they're becoming massive hits. And this one, Backrooms, is essentially about. So Backrooms, the Backrooms, I guess, is this like liminal space. It's an idea that's been in the internet, I think, for the guts of like 10 years now. Like these areas that kind of live beyond our sense of perception, you know, that we can kind of interact with, but not really. Like, I would say the idea of like, like the spirit realm in Irish kind of folklore.
Do you want me to translate your own mistake word?
Folklore. Folklore. That would be a liminal space as well. But this is kind of a more modern take on it. This sort of like area that like exists just beside our own, that is, you know, both kind of influenced by and kind of also like but influenced by the world it's kind of touching.
Yeah.
In an odd sort of way. Yeah. And it's cool. Like I think it was,
it's like a Midsummer Night's Dream but horror.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got this weird sort of sensibility to it. And I think it's also like I was kind of hoping for it to be stranger and more like jagged than it is. I think it's got some like quirky, funny parts to it that I wasn't quite anticipating, but like it was, yeah, a successful movie, and I really enjoyed it. It's another one that's worth a look, I think.
So this person is a YouTuber that's like, I'm going to make some movies too.
Yeah.
And then he's getting...
And there's been a few different things with this. Okay. Like there's another movie I'm going to talk about in one of our other episodes, teaser, and there has been what the hell was it called? Was it Blood Moon?
Honestly, okay. I mean,
what the hell was it called?
I don't hate it.
Right?
Which is generally like my first instinct in most cases, but I don't. It's like speaking from experience, the trying to get in front of anybody is impossible. Like you can't submit a screenplay or script unless you have an agent, but you can't contact an agent because you haven't sold a screenplay. It's that, you know, it's like, how do I get the job? How do I get the job if I don't have a job, right? Or have never had a job kind of thing when you're like a teenager or, you know, newly whatever. I don't hate it. And it's like, if that is a vehicle for people to have that amazing thing, you know, some people are just lucky in life.
And there's clearly an audience for it. Like, you know, like Iron Lung was the other one I was trying to think of. It was another one that was made by a YouTuber almost completely. Like, he directed it, starred in it, was also a big hit as well, you know. So, like... Was he in an Iron Lung, or is that like a... No, the Iron Lung is...
That I'm curious about, what that experience is like.
No. I'm not even going to get into the plot of Iron Lung. It's so bonkers, but it's essentially about a guy in a submarine navigating a blood ocean. So yeah. But there's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. But it's a really interesting, I think, and I think it's also great because it also feels like these are, you know, spikier, sort of like interesting, like more not mainstream ideas, and seeing them both portrayed on a big screen and being successful on a big screen really kind of gives me a lot of like hope, because I feel like, you know, big studios kind of features have become really sanitized and really sanded down in so many ways. I agree. And it's a real bummer. Don't get me wrong, there's some fun stuff that comes out of there, but it's an antidote to kind of see these kind of more interesting sort of like spiky things arrive and do well. So it was great. It really was. Good for you. Another thing I've been doing, cause like, you know, summer's rolling around. Some of my other gigs are kind of disappearing over the summer, so I am doing a wee bit more dog sitting again. It's like, how many times I'm going to say that I quit dog sitting, how many times I'm going to go back to it, but here we are again, back in that hamster wheel.
They're so damn cute. How can you say no?
But like this week I had a Cavachon. Don't ask me what that mix is. And I had a Labradoodle as well. And was it Labradoodle? Cockapoo? Who knows? Cockapoo, it was a cockapoo. And they were both wee dogs, and they were both absolute sweethearts. Like one of them was 2, one of them was 10. Obviously the 10 was like 10-year-old chiller vibes, and she was a cutie. But what they would do was they would like get into a big kind of like cuddle puddle, and like just lie together, just like arms draped or like legs draped over each other. It was just the absolute sweetest thing. So it was a joy to have them for a couple of days. It's not always the case with dog sitting, but it was a nice one, I must say.
We go to the flea market pretty much every weekend down in San Diego at the San Diego Sports Arena from the Almost Famous movie. And
oh yeah,
that's my favorite thing too. I stop even looking at stuff and I'm just looking at people's dogs, and everyone's like, it's also like, it's kind of like those places like Antarctica where you go and people are just like, how did you end up here? Like, you must have had an interesting path, you know?
Yeah.
And that's basically everyone at the Kobe swap meet that we go to. But it's like people and their dogs, and all their dogs are in costumes and or strollers, and like saying hi to it's just so great. I just love dogs, Andy.
They are the best.
They're the best.
So
I'm not sad that you're, dog sitting in the summer when the days are long and you get to hang out and watch like furry things be cute. I can't.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. So, not bad. Okay. So, Beth, do you have any what's current for us this week?
I do. Let's see here. Okay. Let me think this through. Yes. Okay, so this was from Top Fan. Because we watched a Coppola No. I don't remember why. We were talking about something. Doesn't matter. Okay, so he said, "Oh man, I just idly watched The Rainmaker." Oh no, is this when we were talking about Coppola not really doing much after like Apocalypse Now? Not that he's not doing much, but like things that are, at that level.
His career took a different direction.
It did. He went in a different direction.
Yeah.
And I told Top Fan this, and I'm telling you this too, but like at some point we probably should do a Sofia Coppola.
Yeah.
I know we said no directors again ever after Malick, but we might want to think about it. And then it's like, is one better than the other or different? Anyways, so Top Fan said, "Oh man, I just idly watched The Rainmaker, Francis Coppola's adaptation of a John Grisham novel when they were a big deal in the 90s. And it was just a big nothing burger, a bafflingly bland, long meandering courtroom drama. I've never seen it before, but there's clearly a reason people remember The Client, A Time to Kill, and even the fucking Pelican Brief more than this one." Laughing face. Squandered a belter of a cast, too. The guy who made The Godfathers and The Conversation definitely died in the jungle making Apocalypse Now. So, what's a belter?
It's a kind of like very good. If something's a belter, it's very good.
Okay.
It can be assigned in some different ways, but broadly speaking, that's it.
I might have to read the dictionary for that. Like, why belter? Like, what's the...
Oh, jeez, I don't know. That's a good question.
I can look it up. But
a belter is something or someone that is exceptionally good, outstanding, or impressive.
Why belt? Like, a belter here would be like, oh, and then I got a belter, meaning like someone hit me with a belt.
Yeah, this is the thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Andy doesn't know something, everyone.
I don't know many things.
Okay.
It's not, many things. I'll talk about it another time. Go on. Go on.
So yeah, that's what I've got for what's occurring.
So it also can be like if somebody is like singing in a really strong voice. So the guy from
to belt
Commitments.
Something out. Yeah. He's totally a belter.
Right. He's a belter. He's belting something out. So it can also mean that,
okay.
if like an incredible goal in football is like really powerful shot with a belter as well. Okay. So who the fuck knows, broadly speaking, you know.
Well, I'll look and I'll find out. And I will report back maybe. Okay.
It's a good word though.
I know. Thank you, Top Fan.
So we're done with what's occurring. Yep. So, all right, let's move into this week's. So you may be wondering. So last week's episode, we said next week, Gone in 60 Seconds. You're looking at the episode description. You're like, hold on a minute.
I already watched this movie and everything.
Here's the good news. We are covering it next week, but we realized we needed an extra movie, so we called an audible. I took a knee. We got into a huddle, and we decided Leaving Las Vegas was another fine movie to look at. And that's what we're looking at this week. So, you know, if you have watched Gone in 60 Seconds, don't worry about it. It is coming.
Yes.
But, you know, we thought we'd add in Chuckle Fest, Lost in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Leaving Las Vegas.
And not to be confused with Honeymoon in Vegas, also with Nick Cage, which I thought we were watching.
Did you really?
I sure did. I was like, I know which one. And then I was like, oh, those are...
I wondered why you responded so enthusiastically to this. And I was like, don't get me wrong, a great movie. But I'm like, okay, no problems, cool.
Because I was like exclamation pointing. And I was like, that's great. Okay. And then I was like, oh no, they're two similar titles. Same actor. Same-ish. Leading person, lady.
Sure.
They look, it's like they look similar. So Leaving Las Vegas, very different movie.
Wildly different vibes. So had you seen this before then?
I had.
Okay.
I had. Had you?
I've seen it before. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a damning indictment of me. As a person that I find this and Blue Valentine to probably be my favourite romance movies.
Oh wow! Really?
Yeah.
Probably. Well, I don't think you're the only. I mean, you're not the only person. Because now I'm into Reddit, so I went on the Reddit boards because I just want to know what other people are like. Am I thinking along with the masses or not, kind of thing? I guess is my. I don't know. I could see the romance of it. And I could see. I just don't think I ever want to drink alcohol again.
Yeah. So I had the opposite thing. Was I wrote down, do I need to reconsider alcoholism? Question mark.
Right.
I'm like, maybe I need to lean into this alcoholic thing.
Yeah.
I think that. Okay, so just to kind of like. Add a little bit more context on my position in that I find that like doomed romances, there is something really kind of like, I mean, Romeo and Juliet I think is a good example of a doomed romance as well.
Yeah, but they still think that something good is going to happen.
That's true. That's a good point.
I appreciated this one because it's a doomed romance and they know both of them make an agreement that they both agree that this is a doomed romance and they're just going to ride it until he's dead.
That's a good point. This is a very distinct in that matter. And I think that like knowing, I mean, you kind of know as well that where it's going. And I think that, knowing the bad points really kind of accentuates the good points and this, and like the kind of sweet moments. I think Blue Valentine's another great example of that as well, because like the really kind of tender and sweet moments are like elevated by the kind of like darker moments too, I think they kind of like lift them. I mean, like, it's still a very tragic movie. It is not like something I'd like to model my own romances around, but I still find that a really kind of compelling, gritty kind of like examination of, different kinds of relationships.
I remember. Sorry, I was like re-reminding myself about Blue Valentine. So that's with Ryan Gosling and Michelle Williams. Yes.
So basically, it's a movie. It's a movie that kind of like cuts between the first kind of steps in this couple's romance and also their breakup. Yeah. And it kind of like, I think it's really wonderful. Yeah. It's a great, really nice movie.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Sorry. No. I was going to go on another tangent.
Go tangent. I love tangenting. Go.
I was going to say, like, I know that I'm sure there are other romances that I like, but those are the ones that I kind of like jumped to mind for me that kind of stayed with me in a way, you know.
Do you like other like romantic movies, or do you like is like doomed romance like you're like yeah?
I think that it's an interesting question, and like some things have pointed out to me that like they're like, oh, this is a romance movie, and I'm like, oh yeah, I suppose I really do like that. I don't know that I would like seek them out, and I'm sure I've seen them, but like it's not something that I think I actively look for. Though at the same time, like that could also be said for like horror and things like that. I'm not like a major horror guy, but if somebody's like, this is an excellent horror film, I will jump at it, you know. And I think if I'm considering romance movies that I would seek out, it would probably be more likely to be like romantic comedies rather than maybe straight romance movies, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to just give everybody a quick reminder because you've done your homework even though we told you to watch something else. So Ben Sanderson, a Hollywood screenwriter who lost everything because of his alcoholism, arrives in Las Vegas to drink himself to death. There he meets and forms an uneasy friendship and a non-interfacing pact with prostitute Sarah. So yeah, I mean, it's really, I mean, it's a hard look at what alcoholism actually is.
Yeah.
And it's not even, you know, it's hard to watch that level of self-destruction.
Yes.
And it's, you know, they don't speed through it. You know, he's basically like portioned out enough money to live for, you know, large and drink himself to death in about 4 weeks.
I have thoughts on that. I've done some sums on that. We can talk about it later.
Please. And he's been doing the maths. But I just, it's a heavy movie.
It is.
You know, I think, you know, I worried about you watching this. I was like, is this going to make him like sad? And then I was like, no, this is like he spends a lot of time in this space.
This is kind of my jam. This is like my like, it'll make a sweet spot, you know?
Yep.
It's like, I think that, like, and I, you know, it's the moments of like, there is such like humanity there, I think. And I think that like, you know, Nicolas Cage often gets tarred with he's a bit of a like hammy, cheesy actor. He's a bit OTT. But like, there is like such kind of raw kind of vulnerability in this. Like, there are little moments, especially near the start, that I really loved. That like, whenever like his life in LA is kind of collapsing before he drives out to Vegas, he goes into his office one day and clearly he hasn't been turning up a lot, or if he has been turning up, he's drunk, and his secretary comes in and tells him he had a meeting with his boss, and he like grabs her and kind of like dances with her a little bit, and just like him and her like expression of like they clearly care about this dude, but they know that he's kind of broken to the stage that they can't really help, and it's just, your heart just breaks for him. And the same thing, he's sitting in the office with his boss, and his boss is just like, we have to let you go, and you can tell that he's sad about it and he wishes he could do more, but like this guy is kind of like in this spiral that nobody has seemed to be able to pull him out of, you know.
And then it's, you know, it's almost like it's not like, and then his boss is like, you know, well, what are you going to do now? And he's like, I think I'm going to go to Vegas. And it's like, he's already he's already thought this through, and, you know, was just waiting at some point, you know, I'll probably be fired. But just watching him struggle, and I don't know if alcoholism has touched your family. It has touched mine in some peripheral ways. But it's just really hard. I had a really hard time watching, you know, the physical, and, you know, Nicolas Cage did a really good job of, you know, the physicalities of what it looks like to be an alcoholic who's, you know, the hands shaking, the throwing up, the inability to eat food. You know, she's trying to get him to eat spaghetti. He can eat an ice cube. That level at which it makes, you know, you so sick, and you just watch his face color change, you know, and get more yellow throughout the movie. And it was just like, but his character is likable and kind.
He is.
And safe. And, you know,
yeah.
It's just, it's a real, this movie is a real thing, I will say. And
yes.
her understanding of him and the grace that she gives him and he gives her, it's just, you know.
It's, yeah. I mean, there's some real kind of beauty in it, and I think that's only magnified by all the kind of, like, awful parts of it as well, I think, you know. But yeah, it's not the sort of movie I'd recommend to everyone.
No.
But like if you can handle like an unflinching look at, you know, life and romance, then I think it's definitely worth.
Yep.
But I'm getting ahead of
Yep.
myself. Right. Okay. So director is Mike Figgis, an English director, screenwriter, and composer, which is a bit of a hint for what we're going to be talking about in a wee bit. This is his biggest film, I think, by far. He garnered 2 Academy Award nominations for this, director and screenplay, original screenplay, I think. This movie was like inspired, like he had only directed a handful of films in the industry at this point, and this film was already a reflection of his disillusionment with the film industry. He was already like, I've had enough of this shit, which is so interesting, I think, and like pretty insightful. He actually, for a director whose name I recognize, he has a lot fewer films under his belt than I thought. And I think in my head, I'd always kind of conflated him with Mike Leigh, who is a much more prolific English film director and also deals with like some pretty like heavy subject matter, you know. But I think like this is, I think he did a wonderful job with this film. Like I think it is bleak, but it is, you know, it feels authentic, you know.
Yeah. So, so he read. It's based on this 1990 semi-autobiographical novel by a man named John O'Brien. So I guess that. So Nicolas Cage plays this character written in this book. You know, he's lost his family. He's been fired. He's decided to move to Vegas. But I guess, like, the hard part about this, and I read this early on, is that John O'Brien died by suicide in April 1994, shortly after finding out that his novel was being used as the basis of the film.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so, and, you know, semi-autobiographical, that's got to be hard, but Figgis said that he has like a personal attachment to the novel, and I'm going to quote him. He said, "Anything I would do would be because I have a sympathetic feeling towards it. That's why I did Mr. Jones, because I think manic depression is fascinating, sad, and an amazing phenomenon. It's not a coincidence that some of the greatest artists have been manic depressives. That made it, to me, a fascinating subject that, alas, did not come out in the film." Which I disagree with, but, you know, so the film was dedicated to him, and, yeah.
I think, yeah.
Bringing it down on a Tuesday, or whatever day you're listening to this.
Yeah, whatever way it is. I mean, I think that, like, it definitely does. Like, I mean, this guy definitely has mental health issues. He definitely has, like, a deep depression.
Yeah.
And it's subtext, like, but it's definitely there, you know. Yeah, no, I think that's great. Very well done in terms of like depicting that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about the author. Okay, so music, right? So I
was like, why does this sound familiar? Why does this voice?
I left some little breadcrumbs earlier on
right.
for any of you like smart listeners out there. The composer for this movie is Mike Figgis, also the director, right? Doing a lot of work there. So Figgis' early kind of interest was in music. It's interesting, like, he sounds like a bit of a, like, do you know the term blagger? Like, somebody who pretends that they, oh yeah, I'm a musician, so I'll just go into this music school here. And like, he's kind of blagged his way into music school. not really knowing how to play or read music, and then kind of figured it out as he went on.
Basically, the director John Peters.
Yes, yeah. I think it's quite common. Like, that's having that sort of confidence. So anyway, he eventually he ended up he played trumpet and guitar. He also played keyboards in Brian Ferry's first band, the Gas Board, and it was only whenever he was working in there was an experimental group called People Show, that he kind of made his way into theatre, which was then a bridge to film. But like, because I think music was so his like passion and background, he ended up like bringing that into the films that he made as well. Very kind of like jazzy kind of score, like kind of like jazzy bluesy sort of score. It kind of reminded me a bit of the Mastermind, which I saw recently. I think I talked a little bit about it, and it was really kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Improvisational jazz sort of score, and this kind of reminded me a bit of that,
Sorry.
Yeah, it works well in this. It works well in this because it's like whenever in the Mastermind, I'm going back to here, like whenever the Mastermind, like he's on it, like or at least he thinks he's on it, the score is really like tight and together, and whenever everything's collapsing because he's a fucking idiot, the score kind of collapses with him, which I think is really it's a really nice motif, honestly.
Yeah, usually I'm like, Mike loves improv jazz and I do not. It's like the one piece of type of music that I just cannot. I can't. I'm like, I need to be on heroin in order to, because I'm like, how did they write this? He was like, they were on heroin. Not to, not really, but some of them were, the great improv jazz artists. And I'm like, well, I feel like I need to be on a bender in order to like enjoy this and be into it. I can't get that. Not that I would ever do that, children, but
no.
Did you read anything about Sting?
Oh, I had wondered about that and I forgot. No, go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah, I meant to check out.
I was reading some facts and I was like, no, Andy's going to, of course, mention this when he talks about music.
Sure.
So he's friends with Sting, and because I was like listening to, because they had a vocalist, and I was like, why does it sound so familiar? And I'm like, that's totally Sting. And it is Sting. So he did, like, Figgis did, he was the mastermind, but he did get his BFF Sting to do all the vocals, for the most part.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, so
I am.
Sting just appears in places, and I love it.
He does. It just appears every now and again.
Yep.
I just looked into it. It gave me like a thing about like Nicolas Cage not getting paid for this.
Yes.
Do you have? Okay, well, we get to that.
No, just talk about it.
So, like, basically, I was just looking for Sting info there, and apparently, like, Nicolas Cage nor Mike Figgis got paid for this movie because Lumiere Pictures claimed the $4 million movie never technically turned a profit despite grossing over $30 million because they used Hollywood accounting. What motherfuckers?
Yeah, so they were both supposed to get $100,000.
Yeah.
But Lumiere said that they had to go. Yeah, I don't understand. They made $32 million on this movie. They spent $3.6 million. I don't know. That's just shitty business.
Yeah, that's.
Are they still around, Lumiere Pictures?
I think Lumiere Pictures are still around. Yeah.
Or they're like, but it's like all these production companies have been bought out by somebody, so it's hard to know. Hard to know. Okay, so.
Are they owned by is the CEO that Campbell from Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah. Lumiere!
Lumiere!
Oh no, invaders! Okay.
Oh no, they're defunct. They're
that's what I figured.
Defunct 26
Well, it's interesting because we're watching a lot of these movies that are like, from like the 80s or 90s, and I'm like, I recognize them, and I'm like, whatever happened to that production company?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm curious. I'm curious about like this, how many production companies fold versus like thrive. And that whole thing.
Fold.
Any producers? We would love to have you on to tell us what it's like. Okay.
Oh, please.
So so this is from Figgis. just like believability and trying to make sure that his characters understood, or his actors understood their characters, and we're talking about Nick Cage here, so I'm excited about reading all of the ways that he gets ready for a role. So
Sure.
I'm quoting Figgis. He said, reading the book encouraged them, Cage and Shu, to do their own research, which they wanted to do anyway. And then ultimately the three of us got together and just started talking about everything, not necessarily about the film or the script or anything that came up. Cage did his own research by binge drinking in Dublin for 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
And had a friend videotape him so he could study his speech. He said it was one of the most enjoyable pieces of research I've ever had to do for a part. Shu spent time interviewing several Las Vegas prostitutes for her role. So.
Insane.
I know.
Yeah, that's...
Can you imagine if your friend's like, hey, dude, you want to go to Dublin for 2 weeks and I'll pay you?
It's for research.
It's for research. I just need you to videotape me.
Film me. Yeah, I'm like, good. Yeah, sign me up, man. You're gonna pay me for this? Absolutely.
We need better friends, Andy. We need better friends.
Yeah. I wonder how many people like bumped into Nick Cage. I'm sure he had a fucking blast in Dublin. Like, probably people were loving seeing Nick Cage off his face in Dublin.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a city for that.
Yeah. Now we'd get arrested, but then it was charming.
Yeah. There's the kind of wafer thin layer between charming and a problem. It's like, ooh, it's very close.
It's like method acting or Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, right, let's get into it.
Okay.
I'll put on my accounting hat.
Okay.
And I got a little kind of like calculator machine.
Okay.
So.
Why do they wear the hats, the accounting hats? Do we know?
I don't know. Maybe it's glare. Who the fuck knows? Somebody can tell us.
Okay, someone
right.
let us know.
Okay, so I was like, so basically at one point in the film, he says, "I've got between $200 and $300."
Yes, a day
to spend on alcohol, and she's like, "That'll do it, all right." And I'm like, "Not," and I'm like, "Not in this economy."
No.
I'm like, right, you couldn't achieve suicide by alcohol with a budget these days. So I worked it out. Send the high end, $300 a day. That's $8,400. That's freaking one night of bottle service probably in a Las Vegas club these days.
Yeah.
Never mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just was like,
like a cocktail here, a good one is, $25.
Yeah.
Plus tax is $30.
And he's in the bars all the time and getting doubles and all sorts. Like, he would go through that money in no time.
When he was like, can I have a double kamikaze? I was like, oh, man.
That's a wild thing to order in the morning.
Yes.
Because it seemed to be the morning whenever he was doing that.
Well, yeah. And there were a few moments where, like, when he still has a job and he's at the bar and his bartender's like, and he's like, can I have a gin and tonic? And the bartender is also his friend who also has that like sad look of like this, we love this guy, but he's just drinking himself to death. He's like, most people are having coffee right now and you're ordering a gin and tonic. Cheese and tea.
And he's just looking at him like, yeah, of course I am. Yeah. And he'd like go to the bank and sort out this check. And my hands shaking too bad, so I need it more than anything. And
he was like, hey, lady, I had brain surgery. That's why my hands are shaking so bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Always love a good lie.
Yeah, so you wanted to point out how lucky he is that suicide by alcohol was so cheap for him back then.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, and he was paying for a hotel, ice cubes, prostitutes,
ice cube prostitutes,
parking,
yeah. Okay, can we pivot?
Yes.
To talk about how incredibly hot Elizabeth Shue is.
Yeah, we totally can.
She's so beautiful in this film.
She's so beautiful all the time.
She is.
And like, it was so good seeing her in The Boys and good seeing her in the very last season of The Boys. I was like, fuck yeah, she made an appearance. And she's just a beautiful human.
She's a good actress too, I think, and it made me wonder kind of why she didn't have a bigger career. It's kind of insane that she didn't, because I think she's really great in the things that she's in. I mean, what else was she in Cocktail and some of the Back to the Future movies? But like, she's good in those films. She's good in this. She's great in this film.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well,
and
she was up for an Oscar for this film.
Yeah. And deserved.
Yeah.
You know, she's wonderful in it. You know.
Can I give you a Elizabeth Shue fact about this performance?
Mm-hmm.
So all of her solo scenes that are kind of interspersed throughout the movie, it's like someone's interviewing her, and
yes.
I don't know if it's like a therapist or someone who's writing a book or the police or what, but it's just like her take of kind of what this experience has looked like, her experience as working as a sex worker in Las Vegas is like, and so you just get, you know, her narration sort of, but not really narrating. She's telling someone all of this stuff. Doesn't matter. So these solo scenes where she's talking to herself are actually, so the people that she's talking to are her wardrobe, her hair, and her makeup tests. So they were all shot prior to production. So like, let's just see how her clothes look on her, of which they're all latex and they look fabulous. Good job, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And wardrobe. Director Mike Figgis used them in the edit because he felt that they strengthened the narrative of the film. So he never actually intended her. I think she's just ad-libbing. But and the producers were like, we don't think this is a good idea. So this means that Shue is potentially the only actress to ever be Oscar nominated for her wardrobe tests, which I love. That's how fucking good she is.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Should have been massive.
Yeah. And my hope is that she was like, I'm not going to get caught up in the rat race and I'm going to take a break from the family and be cool.
Because I think that she still worked like non-stop, and I think she also like produced and maybe directed and stuff as well. But like, it's just, I feel I'm kind of surprised she wasn't like a massive sort of movie star. You know?
Well, her brother is Andrew Shue.
Okay.
The actor.
I don't think I knew
so if you see his face, you'll be like, oh, I totally recognize him.
Okay.
Yeah. And we had this whole Good Morning America. Do you guys know what that is? It's a TV show. Amy Robach and TJ Holmes, and there was this whole like affair thing that happened. But so sorry, Andrew Shue, that happened to you, and we love your sister. I don't know why anyone needed to know that fact, but it's a small world. Mind your P's and Q's.
Yes.
Yeah. So I thought the chemistry between Elizabeth Shue and Nick Cage was really, really good in this movie. And I don't think it would have worked without those two people in this role. I don't know what it was about this movie, but it's like listening to a band and knowing they have good chemistry. What was I listening to the other day? Yesterday? It was drum class day. And I was thinking about the Beatles, actually, because Charles is playing Come Together on the drums. And I'm just like, you have to have good chemistry in a band for it to really be a thing, right? And people can feel it and know it, and it's there. And it's the same thing with movies. Like, if one person is cast... Again, we talk about this, but casting matters, and they did a good job. So,
yeah, it really does. So, like, that was one of the other things I kind of had wanted to touch on as well. It's like, not only the two leads spectacular, but like, there's like lots of like
every character actor
roles, that are like, whoa, like Danny Houston and like what do you call him, Julian Lennon. Bizarrely as a barman.
He's like, buddy, you got to get out of here. It's like, okay, Julian Lennon.
Arlie Ermy is the guy that she makes a pass at. Like, it's just stacked with like small.
I was like, what?
Is it Richard Lewis at the start as well?
I think so.
Nuts.
Yeah.
So spectacular cast through it.
And I did notice that too. I was like, oh my gosh, it's all like best character actors, and it's always. This is a good movie for that.
Yeah, it is.
So, I was sorry. Could you hear that?
No.
Okay, good. It's my reminders for tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you, Apple. So, Common themes.
I think
I would, yeah. I mean, it's, it's romance. It's doomed romance.
yes.
I think a lot of people. So I went to the Reddit boards, and a lot of people did agree that yeah, it is a romance. But one particular comment that I saw, this person said, "I enjoyed it. My wife once declared to me that there are many romances that are wish fulfillment for women. Why be so hard on sentimental romances for men?" And I was like,
agreed.
is this like a more male-centric romance movie?
That's a good question. God, that's
And if
a
it
damning
is,
indictment
then
of men.
I know that I.
If so,
Yeah, but I think it
like,
might be.
I think it might be.
And
like,
I don't want
it's
it to be a damning indictment. That's not what I'm saying. But it's like I want to understand.
There are more broadly like, and I did a quick search for like other. I think that like big mainstream romances can be quite saccharine at times, and they're like unrealistic.
Oh, totally.
And I think there are like
anything
romance
with
movies.
Jennifer Lopez.
Yes. There are like but there are like, I mean, like even Moonstruck. Do you know what I mean? That's a romance movie, and it's more like, even though it is like heightened and there's an air of ridiculous to it. It is like more, I can get my teeth into that more than I can get into some sappy bullshit, you know. Or even like Working Girl that we did, like I really fucking love that movie. I think that is like not a male romance movie, but I really dug that, it's just they're not first to mind for me, I think, so like I think there is probably some truth to that. I just think that maybe men don't expose themselves to romance movies because they have an idea of what they are, and they miss out on some good stuff, I think, as a result,
because it makes them feel feelings.
My feelings. Oh, why why not rage? It's my only emotion, things like that,
right? And I always hope that because you are who you are, I love, sorry, not to be like, I love our podcast, but I do, sure, because you are who you are. And, I love that you have, a sensitive, sweet self, and you're aware of that. Yeah. And that's like, that could be your superpower, Andy.
It's true. And thank you. But I as a thought on that was, I was thinking about romantic comedies just whenever I was visiting Oxford. Yeah. What was I watching? Four Winds and a Funeral.
Yes.
Whenever you took a nap. So like, like I do, like that's another great one, that I do like kind of respond to. I just think as long as they don't feel cynical and like manipulative, and like I think that like obviously there are some that work for me that have those aspects, but I think if that's all or most of what I'm getting from it, it's not going to work for me.
Right. I take naps, everyone. And I love them, and I think you should nap. Everyone should nap, and there should be nap time for adults.
To nap, I just can't.
I know.
Right, so we do. I'm just as we get into facts.
Yep. Okay, so, the Rolex that Ben wears in the film is John O'Brien's actual watch.
Okay.
That he sells at the pawn shop. Yep. So, like, that scene, I was like, we're really focused on that watch. Is it a good watch? And then it was like, oh, no, it matters because it was actually the author's watch. Mm-hmm. The film features brief appearances. So we have the bartender at the Breakfast Biker Bar who wipes the blood off of his face is Julian Lennon. The older married gentleman who refuses Sarah's services is played by the legendary R. Lee Emery. We've got the dark-haired prostitute at the casino bar is played by Mariska Hargitay, the daughter of Jane Mansfield. She was in that.
Yeah, also, she's just incredible.
The cab driver who picks her up in the morning after being assaulted, and he's like, "You're so pretty, like, you don't even know you can get anybody you want. You don't have to be dealing with this bullshit." So that's Xander Berkeley. And then
Another cab driver.
Yes.
I recognized as well. He was a real piece of shit. Yeah.
Lou Rawls. That's who that person was. Another bartender played by Danny Houston of the famous Houston actors family of Angelica. So son of John Houston and grandson of Walter Houston. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Okay, so Nicolas Cage decided to star in this film partly because of his miserable experience filming the top box office flop Trapped in Paradise in 1994, which I don't know if I've seen, stating that he wanted to get out of the sun and make a serious project after that one.
Oh my god, wow.
Yeah, does it look bad? Is it like
his two co-stars are Dana Carvey and John Lovett, so that might be.
Oh my gosh!
I might tell you everything you need to know.
I feel like we need to add that to like our list of
terrible films.
I don't know. Okay, Roger Ebert ranked this the 7th best movie of the 90s.
Yeah, I can understand that completely. I think it has a power to it that a lot of our films struggle to match.
Yeah. So, last one, Nicolas Cage has a large tattoo on his left shoulder of a lizard wearing a top hat. Mm-hmm. I love it when people are just themselves and eccentric. Please go get the tattoos that you want to get, people, and tell me about them with top hats. When Ben and Sarah are staying in the motel in the desert, Ben gets up to jump in the pool. The tattoo is covered up with makeup, and then they show him at the bottom of the pool drinking a beer. The makeup's gone, and the tattoo is clearly visible. So keep an eye out when you're watching Nicolas Cage movies for his top hat lizard tattoo.
That rocks.
Oh, I have one more. Sorry,
okay.
This is for the whole cast. So this is like, the critical reception of this was staggering. Cage received a Golden Globe Award for Best Actor, Motion Picture, and he won the Academy Award for Best Actor for this film.
Oh, yes, we did.
Yeah. While she was nominated for the Golden Globe as well as the Academy Award for Best Actress, the film also received, the nominations you mentioned for screenplay and director, adapted screenplay. So.
Love it. Right. So, shall we get into our final...
Does self-destruction ever get old?
No.
Never!
It's a common theme throughout the society that we live in, yes. I think. Okay. So, Toulouse Did It Fit, I think an easy win for me with Elizabeth Shue looking sensational in everything she wears. Just from beginning to end. No animal acting award because I don't think there's any animals in this.
I mean, does the lizard on his body count as...
Yeah, okay. Let's reluctantly give it to a lizard tattoo.
Or you could give it to Nick Cage because he's
true.
Half animal, half human.
He is animalistic. Okay. So Beth, for leaving Las Vegas, would you revisit, remember, refuse, or redo? It's a tough one.
I think not to be like I'm so empathetic, but I had a very hard time watching the amount of self-destruction, and I don't wish that on anybody. To the flip side, I really appreciate that when someone will go here artistically and be like, look at this.
Yes.
I would like to revisit it, but I want to wait a decade.
Yeah, I think ultimately, I think it's an excellent film and I love it, but I think it's probably a remember for me just because it is such an emotionally kind of searing experience.
It really is.
I really do think it's a fantastic movie, and I really like that movies like this are made. I think it's important to look at things like this or to see things like this. But it's tough, it really.
That's
is
literally
tough.
what I'm saying is I'm a remember too. I just it was so raw and so difficult because you want them both to fall in love and
you do.
Him to be like, love is enough, and it's not, and she's like, love is not enough, and and then he died.
Yeah, yeah. That was the other thing was like what that really kind of made me laugh right at the end of this film. They have this like freeze frame
of his face,
like he
smiling.
Actually died making the film. It was really kind of made me chuckle.
I did too. I was like, it's kind of like it's like watching a sports movie or whatever when they're like
Nicolas Cage died by filming this movie. And then it's like the dates of his birth to his death, but it didn't happen.
And it's anyway. Like I always hope that you can save someone, but you just can't. You can't.
Exactly. All right, so Beth, just to change emotional possessions for a bit, what has been bringing you joy this week?
The kids are winding school down, which we'll talk about later, but tomorrow's their last day of school, so today they're doing a multicultural lunch. So last night we had to make a dish that had to do with our ancestors or our heritage. So Harper has a lot of questions about where are we from and who are our ancestors, and I was like, girl, we're as muddy as they come. We are from everywhere. But she decided that she wanted to pick Ireland, of which now I'm deep into our genealogy for multiple reasons, but we are both Northern Irish and Irish. No. Actually from let's see. Well, over by you, basically.
Okay, Antrim, direction.
We're in the Antrim, and then down by Dublin. Okay. So she chose her favorite dish, which is also mine, which is shepherd's pie. So we got to eat it for dinner, and then she brought in because you can make it in bulk. So I found the reason that shepherd's pie exists. Because the British. We're like, we're going to take all your beef, guys. And you were like, okay, well, I guess we'll just mix lamb and mutton and add some potatoes and then whatever veggies we have. And we're going to call it shepherd's pie so we can get all our nutritional needs met. But she was so excited, everything in it. She was so excited. It's so interesting learning where I love, me, and like, I want to know where things come from and why. So this is a long way to say we went to the flea market, which I already told you, but I bought, and I had one growing up, but we bought the Oxford English Dictionary, not the one that's like 4 feet tall, but like, the shortened version. And so we keep it by the dining room table, and it's like, it was one of my favorite things to do as a kid. We'd be like, well, what is that? What's the root of that word? And we get out the OED. We had the version that had like, 20 pages on 2 pages, since we had a little magnifying glass. So we've been doing that at dinner and like looking at our names and what they mean, and like, any word that we come up with, what does it mean, and finding sort of like the very beginning of the word and the root of it. And it's always very, very funny, especially like...
That's nice.
Yeah.
I love it.
I know. It's so fun. Really so next time you come over, we're going to have OED dinner.
Okay, perfect.
Yes. So when I say I'm going to look it up and find out, I'm not saying I'm going to Google it, people. I'm going to look it up in the fucking OED, the Oxford English Dictionary. The
root of all
it's so good.
Okay.
Fucking British.
So for me, don't get me started. For me it has been, I've been meaning to watch this for ages, but I finally started watching The Lowdown, the Ethan Hawke sort of like crime drama type thing that's on Disney.
Yes.
Because like, it's by Sterling Harjo, who did Reservation Dogs, which I really loved, but it's like Ethan Hawke is this kind of like, he's like just this real kind of like, he's a rare book owner, but he describes himself as a truth historian. He's like a real kind of like asshole kind of writer. This is really spiky writer who's like on this like crusade essentially against this like rich family. And Ethan Hawke, I think he gets his ass kicked 3 times in the first 2 episodes, which is incredible. And he's just like, he deserves it a lot of the time, even though like it's bad people doing it. He's just such a cocky shit. So it's really funny, really kind of like, it's just like exactly the sort of thing I like. This kind of like, that sort of crime drama where your kind of protagonist is in way over his head, but But yeah, it's definitely worth a punt. I've been really enjoying it.
I like Ethan Hawke movies where he's in over his head.
Oh, you will love this. I think he's just it's a character that sits him down to the ground. Just this kind of guy who's like, loves the smell of his own shit, and people do like love him, even though that like they find him like a kind of a pain in the ass as well.
I've liked a lot of the stuff I like him as an artist.
Yeah, he rocks.
Yeah.
He's
like a real artist, but he's not like, I'm an artist. He's just like, the older he gets, the less pretentious he gets, and I appreciate that.
That is very true. Yeah,
because I feel like
he used to be
Dead Poet Society. He was a little like,
Yeah, but I think he's definitely settled at least a little. Anyway.
Yeah. He's probably learning what we all know. That the more we learn, the less we know. So good job.
It's true.
Good job, buddy.
Okay. So next week, right? It's gone in 60 seconds.
We mean it. We mean it. We're not lying to you.
We really will be next week.
We will.
Beth, can you tell everybody where they can find us?
Find us at Bendy. Oh my God! Sorry. MovieTestOfTime.com.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
All right, love it. Okay, folks. In that case, we have reached the end of this week's episode, and as always, we like to say goodbye to our destructive and tragic fans. Though I don't mean that. I think you're cool and smart,
you're so
actually,
great.
and also sexy.
You look great
possibly.
today. You look great today.
Yeah, you do. You really do. All right.
All right. Love you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.